Hello everyone and welcome back to another episode of Steve's Allotment. I thought I'd do a tour of my allotment as I've not been down here for a little while. There has been, obviously a lot of things have died off since I was last here, and unfortunately there's been a bit of a disaster on the plot as well, so we'll have a look at that in a moment. And then we'll have another wander down to the second plot, number 64 as well. So let's start with the first plot, plot 89. So looking around, all the flowers in the flower beds have died. My blueberries have kind of browned off a little bit. Hopefully they'll come back again next year. They were free ones anyway, so it's not the end of the world if they don't. And my lingonberry actually looks like it has got a few little berries on it. Yeah, we've got a few little lingonberries on there. Not many, not exactly enough to feast on. This little bed here is where I used to have all my onions and garlics. Last time I was down here, I cleared that all over and put some weed membrane over it. And my plan is to put my raspberries in here. I ordered those yesterday, so the plan will be to dig some holes to put the raspberries in here. It's an all-year fruiting selection, so there's 3 different types of raspberry that will fruit at various times throughout the year. And then I'll go over this with bark when the raspberries are in. All the strawberries are still plodding along here, still all alive. Obviously no strawberries on them at the moment, but I wouldn't expect there to be. And all the rhubarb over here has gone dormant as well, but does need a bit of a weed over. My grape has gone dormant for the year as well. Again, hopefully this will perk up again for next year. And where all my runner beans were, they've all died off. And I've just been leaving this to allow all the pods to dry off so that I can harvest the seeds from those for planting next year. They're all starting to get a bit crispy now. It'll be a case of next year I can just open the pods. We've got some runner bean seeds in there. Those can be planted for next year. Just pop those in my pocket. Coming back onto the main area, all the tomatoes have died off as expected. What I will do for next year is make sure that I don't plant any tomatoes or potato in here, because I think we've got a spot of blight, mainly because I left them and didn't do anything with them. Herb bed is pretty much dying off for the year. Rosemary's looking well, basil less so. Coriander's been gone for a long time. The lemongrass looks like it is potentially dying off, but I know it doesn't do particularly well in the cold, so hopefully next year that might perk up a bit. If not the end of the world. It was only some supermarket ones I had a bit of an experiment with. The thyme is actually doing really well by the looks of things. That's the best it's looked for a while. And we've got the mint in here as well. There it is. Not doing the best, but again, hopefully that'll perk up again next year. I'm sure you remember me planting all this grass here. This grass seems to be doing really well. Just need to keep on top of it with mowing and things as the new year comes in. Cucumber bed, it's all died off, as of the sweet corn. That one needs to be picked still. I have got some Christmas potatoes down in this bed. I think they were hit by frost, so I don't know how well we're going to do with those. There was some foliage on them, but that did all die off, so I don't know. Oh, actually, it looks like we've got a little bit of potato growth in there, so I'll cover that back up and hope for the best. And we do have some other seed potatoes that kind of come uncovered, so I might stick a bit more manure down on those, or actually just rake them over, to be honest. Asparagus bed is just looking weedy as it was before. We'll have to wait and see if we do get any asparagus coming up next year. Now my carrot bed, I've just I don't know if you remember, I just scattered seeds and hoped for the best here. But by the looks of things, we've got a decent crop of carrot, and whoa, that is an absolute beast of a carrot. It'll be interesting to see what these are like when they're dug up. We've got some smaller ones over there, another few biggish looking ones about as well. But my thoughts are I'm going to save picking the majority of these until Christmas, and hopefully we can have those with our Christmas dinner. But I can't believe the size of that big one. All the trees are kind of lost all their leaves, as you'd expect. All the cherries got one lone leaf on it, and the others' leaves all come off, but that's to be expected. Now in here, it looks like we've got lots of leafy growth from our cabbages and broccoli. I can't see any, oh, I can actually see some broccoli heads coming up, so hopefully we'll have those for Christmas. And the cabbage are looking like they're starting to head up a little bit as well. Now the big disaster I came down and found today, we must have had some very high winds in recent weeks, because my polyhouse had managed to dig itself up from the ground. It did have poles going down into the ground, and it was on next door's plot over there. So I could see as I was walking up the hill that it looked like my polyhouse had gone, and it turns out it had. And it had even pulled out all the wooden base from here. So I'm going to have to rethink that one. Probably do some deeper posts into the ground and make it a bit sturdier for next time. So compost bins are coming along okay. It's gone down a lot and it is looking very much more like compost now. My plan is for today is to probably put a front up on one of these. And what you won't have seen in my last videos is I've started constructing, as I'm sure I've mentioned before, we're not allowed sheds down on this site. So what I have started doing is just constructing almost like a little bunker type thing. So when it rains, I'll be able to come in and have a sit down. I won't be able to stand up, obviously. I'll be able to come and have a sit down and stay out of the rain. I'm going to put a little bench in there with my stove so I can make my cups of tea in here as well. And I did manage to actually find a window, a glass window on the new site that I have. So it should be able to get a bit of light. But I think what I will do as well is, because I've got my solar panel right next door, is run a little cable with some LED lighting in here. It's obviously not ideal. I'd like to have a full-size shed. I'm not allowed. So compromise, I think, is that I've kept it the same size as a compost bin. So I don't think you could really class it as a shed. More of a I guess a roofed seating area. Now I've still got all the pallets here and my watering system, and then not a lot else has changed up this end. So what we'll do, we'll have a quick walk down to the second plot, plot 64. Just gonna have a wander around here. So I'm sure you remember it's a horrifically long walk to plot 64. And I can't remember if we had it on the last video, but plot 64 now has a matching sign that I got for my birthday. So looking along here, not masses has changed. So we've got the leeks still here. They don't seem to have plumped up very much, but it is quite cold, so I'm not that worried. Now the path down the middle, it does look like we're getting some grassy growth on there, but hopefully if we get a bit of warm weather in the new year, that should start growing a lot better. There's not masses of growth that I can see from my onions and my garlics, but again, I'm not horrifically worried about that. It has been quite cold, so as long as they're up next year, I'll be happy. I did do a little bit of trimming along here of the grass, and actually I did mean to bring down a plant to put down here. I've got a blackberry that I got for free that I wanted to put in this little area to help fill up this little bed. So walking along here, not a lot else has changed. There may have been a bit of tidying up going on since last time I was down here, but not masses has happened. But what we can see where all the weeds and things have started dying off a little bit is where beds used to be, so I might utilise those. So it looks like there was a bed here at one stage, which I'll probably redig, and this looks like a separate bed as well, which I'll probably redig. And then my trees have all, as expected, started dropping all their fruit. And I'll probably give these a bit of a prune, and certainly with this apple tree a bit of a stake up at some point. Now, the apples off this tree were actually really, really nice. I gave them to a couple of family members and I was told that they were really, really sweet and really nice. So I didn't get many this year because I got this plot late on in the year. But hopefully with a bit of pruning and a bit of care, this next year should hopefully give us lots of fruit that I can be sharing around everyone. And the pears we never got to try, but this tree doesn't actually look too bad. It looks like it's going in a reasonable direction, whereas this one, yeah, it's growing sideways, which is not great. And then up the back of this plot there was a couple of covered over beds here, which I will rotivate over and clear up at some point, and obviously be putting stuff in there. So it is actually starting to spit with rain now, so I'm not going to stay up here very long. But what I will do is I will catch up with you next time I'm down here, and there may be a few little bits at home that I will do a little video on, just because I've picked up lots and lots of bargains recently, and I've got some little experiments planned for next year, which I'll be talking to you about. And I've started overwintering a chilli plant, which I'll go through what I've done with that as well. So I'm going to leave it there, and I will see you in the next video. Take care and happy allotmenting.